We promise never forget the most horrific terrorist attack in American history, but what have we learned from it? Well, it's a question that we're posing today with author and U of I Professor John Lynn. He's going to help us try to answer that. He joins us live via Skype. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
So let's talk about this. Since 9/11, we've been able to fight off large-scale attacks from foreign powers. How exactly have we been able to do that?
Well, one thing, we have much better coordination between our different intelligence agencies. One of the things that was a problem in 9/11 is the agencies weren't talking to each other. They regarded their information as something of value that they didn't want to share. So that's better. We're more focused on, have been more focused on radical Islamist terror, although I'm not sure that's our greatest danger in the future.
And John, we're in a time where the U.S. and some other countries are taking more of an isolationist approach when it comes to their foreign policy. Does not working with foreign allies make us more vulnerable to foreign terrorist attacks?
Absolutely, because we need to share to get from them. They need to be able to depend on us so that we can depend on them. And it's absolutely crucial. We'll never know as well what's going on, say, in France or Belgium, to talk about those terrorist attacks, as the people there will, and what they might have in mind for us. So no, we absolutely need to have a network, not simply operate on our own.
Yeah, history tells us that for sure. And, former U.S. Homeland Security secretaries, they had a hearing yesterday to talk about the state of security. What was the takeaway for you?
Well, I I'm concerned with not simply looking at the Islamist threat, which has receded a bit, but don't forget it's there. But I'm also very concerned with domestic terrorism
Hmm.
for very good reasons. Right now, since 9/11, since the day after 9/11, more Americans have died on our shores from radical right violence than from jihadi violence.
Yeah.
And we need to be aware of that.
Do you think this is getting enough attention? Because I think I definitely agree. Domestic terrorism, it's on the rise. Numbers have shown that. Is it getting enough attention from the federal government?
It's getting more attention now, I would imagine. Now, I'm not an insider, and I can't tell you exactly what's going on, but there's been a tendency to turn something of a blind or more tolerant eye, because when you're dealing with domestics, there are all kinds of rights and freedoms of speech and sharing information that don't exist when you're fighting international terrorism.
All right, John, I want to thank you so much for joining us, for giving your expert opinion here. And for more on this, check out John's book, Another Kind of War, The Nature and History of Terrorism. Thanks a lot, John.